Hey guys, it's a Creative Duelist here, and I've been making decks creative since 2016. Welcome folks. Today I'm here with my Melodious deck profile, and I'm going to go ahead and go with my card choices and all that good stuff. This deck's pretty fun. I've always liked playing Melodious. It's just one of those like trolly fairy decks that annoys my opponent so much. So anyway, let's get right into the meat and potatoes of all things. I'm going to get right into my card choices. So starting off, we have the triple solo. Like solo is like one of the most important ones to play. It's so free. Basically, if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, it's a free special summon, and when it destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon one Melodious monster from the deck. Really good. So it helps to get the Melodious effects off, pretty much. So I've got to play 3. A triple cannon, or canon. It's a free special summon if you control a Melodious monster, and once per turn you can target one Melodious monster you control and then just change its battle position. Really good, especially if you have a Melodious monster in attack position and you don't want it in attack position, you want it in defense. So it's pretty good. Then triple Aria. This card is like so important to play, gotta play 3 of it. When it's special summoned on the field, while it's special summoned on the field and remains there, Melodious monsters you control cannot be targeted by card effects or destroyed by battle. So this is very important to get your protection lock, so your opponent pretty much can't do anything to you. Then triple Sonata. Sonata, pretty much if you control a Melodious monster, it's a free special summon, and while this special summon card is on the field, it basically amps your fairy monster's attack points and defense by 500. So it all gives them a nice little boost. Really good for pushing over monsters. And then the double Soprano, the Melodious Songstress. This is literally your fusion. It's like a polymerization in the flesh when it's special summoned. I think it has to be special summon. Oh no, it doesn't need to, which is good. So it's pretty much just a free polymerization. You just activate the effect and then fusion summon a Melodious monster, fusion monster from your extra deck. And when it's special summoned, it recurs back a Melodious monster from your graveyard to your hand, which is pretty good. Then double, I think it's Elegy. This card is also important too. Special summoned Melodious monsters you control, they can't die by card effects. So once you get Elegy and Area on the field, you create the lock, so they can't die by card effects, battle, or be targeted. So you have like a 3-in-1 or 3-in-2 pretty much. And Elegy also buffs your fairy type monsters attack points by 300, which is very good, especially if you have Elegy and Area and the Sonatas. That is crazy. That's a massive attack point boost. Really good, and defense. And then for pretty much the rest, I play 1 Score and 1 Mozarte. Score is pretty much an honest. I only play 1 because I play honest in this build, so I didn't really feel the need to play more. I guess you can play more if you like, if it works for you. And this is pretty good, especially if you have Valhalla on field. It's just a free special summon. You bring out a special summon of like very type monster from hand, and it pretty much locks you out of summoning anything else except for light monsters, which isn't a problem. The deck is primarily light. And then I do play 1 Barrier Statue of Heavens because it's trolly. And then double honest, 1 Archlord Christia and 1 Athena. And that's going to round up the main deck, folks, in terms of monsters, of course. Alright, let's move on to the spells. I've got the triple first movement solo. This is good for setting up, especially if you don't control any monsters. you bring out a level 4 lower free Melodious monster from your hand or deck, so it saves your normal summon. And it has the restriction, but we only summon Melodious monsters most of the time, so it's not a problem. And triple Ostinato is pretty much, if you control no monsters, it's a polymerization. It's like a Shadow fusion. You can also just send Melodious monsters from the deck as materials if you don't want to send from hand. And during the end phase of the turn, the fusion monster gets destroyed. And if the fusion summon monster is destroyed, you get to special summon those fusion material monsters that were used for that monster. Very good. That's pretty much how you get your the area and algae lock. So it makes it pretty easy. Very good. You must play 3 of this. And then I do play double poly. I see people playing 1. I played 2 just in case, but it's up to personal preference. And then I play 1 Fortissimo. Fortissimo is pretty much just I like it because it gives your Melodious monster an attack boost of 800, and you can also send it to the graveyard and it becomes a polymerization. Pretty good. Then 1 Valhalla. It's in German, I do apologize, but it's once per, basically I think it's once per turn, or I think it's just in that turn. If you control no monsters, it's just a free special summon of a fairy monster from hand, so you can bring out Archlord Christia for free if you've got this. 1 Photon Lead is just a free special summon from hand, and 1 Regeki. That's going to round up the spell lineup. Okay, on to traps. Double Call of the Haunted. I want to play backs to the front, can't find mine, but if you have backs to the front, it's better to play that. And then double Torrential, because once you get the lock off, you can just throw up. I'm just testing these out, but I like playing Torrentials because if you get the algae in the area lock, you can just flip Torrential and your opponent's field gets nuked while yours stays pretty much intact. And then I play the 1 Melodious Illusion just to kind of help protect our Melodious monsters from being affected by spells and traps. So it's pretty good to play. And that's going to round up the main deck. I'm going to go into my extra deck now. I play the triple, I think it's the Melodious Maestra. I can't pronounce the first name, but pretty much we play 3 of this. You can banish 3 cards from your from anyone's grave during either player's turn, and it gains 200 attack for each card you banish, and you can only use the effect once while this card is face up on the field. And then I play double Bloom Diva. Bloom Diva can't die by battle or card effects. You also take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. And if this card battles a special summon monster after damage calc, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference between the original attack of the opponent's monster and this card. And if you do, you also blow up that opponent's monster, which is really good. So it's kind of like a is it a Mochu mech? But it also pops the monster too, which is good. Then I do play the double Bloom Prima. Prima pretty much gains 300 attack for each fusion material for each monster that's used for its material when you fusion summon it. And this card basically can attack twice during each battle phase. And if this fusion summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Melodious monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. It's pretty good. And that's going to round up the fusions for the links. Double Bloom Harmonist. A Harmonist, when it's link summoned, you can pitch a card and special summon 2 Melodious monsters with different levels from the deck to your zones this card points to. So you pretty much get you can get the algae and the area loop off that way. In defense position, you can't summon anything, which isn't a problem. And also, if a Melodious monster this card points to attacks, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step, which is pretty good. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty much an Ancient Gear Golem in a sense, or a Archimedes, I think it's called. I do play 1 Herald of Mirage Lights. It's a nice negation card. 1 Hippo Shinnigan because they're lights. And I do play the Nightmare package. and the Bora sword, because I couldn't think of anything else to put in. So yes, that's going to round up the whole main deck, extra deck, and the whole profile. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like, comment down below. Feedback is always nice to hear. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. But yes, the Creative Duelist signing out. Peace. Subscribe.